Hello friends, thanks for tuning in. I'm getting ready today and I thought I would just turn the camera on and do it along with you. While I do have a couple of new things in this video, that's not really what it's all about. It's more just the overall look. Yesterday I had used my Patrick Ta Major Dimension palette. It's just the Major Dimension 1, the more bronzy one, and I was just falling in love with this thing all over again, so I thought I'd incorporate that. However, I do have a new concealer that I ran into over the weekend from Revlon. I noticed they had this Flexwear full cover concealer just right in there with the whole display. I hadn't seen it before. Maybe it has been out for a while, but I'll be putting that on as well. But backing it up a little bit, skincare is on and I'm going to prime with my Refi. This is the Glow and Sculpt Face Primer with the little roller. I just enjoy this thing. I really like it. And it is Labor Day today, by the way, my friends. So it's a no school day. I know the first order of business is going to the playground this morning. That's already been requested and is happening today. Probably do some swimming too, if we can. Every time I swim these days, I'm thinking maybe we're on our last time of swimming for the season. I love that this has this little roller on it. And then you just kind of squeeze out some of the product and you see it coming out and it just sort of gets caught by the roller. And texture-wise, like, okay, I got a little extra there on that one cheek. It feels smoothing, a little extra hydrating. I know there's niacinamide in this as well. Mainly, I feel like I get a little added hydration boost from this one. And the skin doesn't look like super glowy afterwards, just maybe a little more glowy because of the moisture. And then because I'm using this Revlon Color Stay Concealer, I thought let's pair that with Revlon Color Stay Foundation. This is the normal to dry skin formulation. It has the SPF 20. I'm trying to find the shade name. Oh, 295 Dune. So we're gonna pump out pretty much a full pump. And I gotta say, I'm not really as floored by Revlon Color Stay Foundation as I once was. Especially kind of retrying this out again recently. I feel like Rimmel Lasting Finish kind of has it beat, and also the Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint. Not saying it's bad, but I'm gonna like stamp over my dots here. I applied a little bit more today than I have the last couple days. Whoop, brush hair. I feel like I got more out of that one pump than I have recently. Like I'm just sensing a little more coverage with it, like a very strong medium coverage. I was just realizing this morning, I haven't gotten my fall stuff out behind me. I've got to do that today. It's all over the rest of my house, and Uga's my little decorating guy. He loves to sit things around and loves to say fall decor. Okay, my skin is looking really even. I just feel like for whatever reason that pump gave me more, and a little more of this looks even better on my skin. I don't know if I was only getting a partial pump out of it in the past, but this looks really good. Nice even coverage. Like I said, I've got the normal to dry formula, and there is a combo to oily formula as well. But then we've got this. This is my second time trying this out, this Flexwear Full Cover Concealer. I wear it in vanilla. So we got a big old buckfoot applicator, as is the norm with this type of thing. I'm gonna put a couple of dots right in here, a dot out here. We'll kind of brighten in a few places, and we'll conceal any nose redness right here. Okay, and I'm gonna spread out my dots, make a little more of them, and really think about what I'm getting coverage-wise with this and how it compares to like e.l.f. Camo and any other full coverage option that I work with regularly. I meal prepped the heck out of things yesterday. When I was done, I felt like I had every dish to wash, you know. I made so much stuff, but I'm ready for this week. Okay, so now I'm dabbing over it with this end, the fuller end. I feel like I'm getting very, very comparable coverage to like my Camo concealer or Shape Tape. I feel like my blending method does really preserve the coverage nicely, but this appears to be doing really well. I also think the shade was really good, a little bit brightening there on my under eye area, so I'm pleased with that. But no, I made meatballs in the crock pot. For my meal prep, I did chicken. I completely burned my quinoa, which has never happened once in my life. I don't know, something with my burner went crazy or what. Burned the quinoa, so had to toss that. Made another little kind of pasta, like just for a small serving in my meal prep dish. Roasted broccoli and sweet potatoes. I love roasting broccoli. That's just the best way to eat broccoli, is roasted in the oven. That's looking good. That is every bit as good as any other full coverage concealer, I think. For Bub, I meal prepped him some stuff. A lot of times he's been smoking his own kind of meat for meal prep, but I did some buffalo chicken breast for him and rice cauliflower. And does anybody feel like it's a struggle to get your kids to eat breakfast before school? Because I feel like we run into that most days with especially Biddy, like getting up and just not feeling hungry. And I decided to make these cereal bars. They're just 3 ingredients, or 4 ingredients technically. It's peanut butter, honey, a little vanilla extract, and Cheerios. And you melt down those first 3 ingredients till they're basically liquefied, and then pour in 4 cups of the Cheerios. I'll link below to the recipe I used. You stir it all up, and then you just let it set in your fridge for a while. Once they're set, you can cut them up and like put them in a little container. But I taste tested one of those yesterday, and I'm like, if they can't eat these first thing in the morning, I don't know what they'll take. They're delicious. I'm gonna use a little bit of my Rare Beauty loose powder. This is their setting powder in the shade Light. I love the way it's packaged. It's got a little slider thing, and then that exposes your dots where the product can come out of, and then you just tap it into your cap. And I like this powder a lot. I think it looks really great on the under eye area. It always seems to smooth and blur while not looking too heavy. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw that into my look today. And I'm gonna set my T-zone with it also, just pressing it into the skin. But seeing as I'd meal prepped all that, of course, does anybody else feel like this? Like, okay, I just spent a lot of time cooking. It's for the week. So last night we ordered McAllister's. I love their chicken salad croissant. I love just their garden-like side salad. And McAllister's is Belle's favorite. She had a really long cheer practice, so I was like, she's gonna be so excited to come home to some McAllister's when she's done. Okay, I'm gonna dust that away. Any excess that's there's not really a lot of excess, but if you wanna get an amazing workout and you still have your pool open or access to a pool. We play this game called like either Shark or Crab, and it's basically just one person trying to, you know, pinch all the other people in the pool. Playing any kind of tag type of game in the water really makes you like move. Like, I will do anything to not get caught. It gets so competitive, and by the end you're like, man, I just, like, without even realizing it, got an amazing cardio workout. And then I'm gonna lightly powder the rest of my face with Revlon Color Stay pressed powder. This is in light medium. For a time I was really into this stuff. It is a good quality, very smooth pressed powder, but it's not too thick. Like if I put my finger into Maybelline Super Stay, it definitely feels thicker than this, but this still has that smoothness that you kind of want. I'll have to really analyze this and see if I get the same sort of staying power that I do topping off with Maybelline Super Stay, but either way, if you keep it light, if you keep yourself very paced with your application of either of these powders, even if it's a soft one, like you can still get away with not looking too thick and powdery. So here's what the face is looking like so far. I feel like we're doing pretty good on coverage. Now that I'm at this point, I feel like I have a full coverage face. We're gonna do some contour. I feel like I haven't used my Rare Beauty contour stick in a while. This is the one called Good Energy, or they call it a bronzer stick. Very, very soft and creamy. I love the way it blends in. I know it's known for just being so super blendable. And I've been kind of also hitting right down here. And then I saw Kylan do this on TikTok, and she takes a stripe down this way. And I swear that does something too. Yeah, neck contour. And look how well this blends, but still makes an impact. But there's just something relaxing to me about looking in my refrigerator and seeing that I have stuff to grab for the week. Like, I see that and I'm like, ah, okay, we're good. Pressing over this, I put it, you know, I'm not like on top of the cheekbone, but my blending direction is pulling it upward slightly with my Sephora 56. And then I'm gonna use one of these deeper shades of the Lumi blush, because I'm very curious. And I think it will look good with our bronzy eye. Looking snatched. Okay, so we're just blending that down, and I think it does something for the neck. Feels way harder to blend down there though. I don't know, I guess I'm not quite as prepped, you know, in that area. Oh, that's such a good tone. So this is the shade Glowy Worth It Medium. It's really rich and deep, shade 635. And it does seem to have like a little bit of a satiny finish. It looks practically burgundy. And as I've said before, I feel like a little goes a long way with these blushes. So I'm slightly scared. Yesterday, I thought I was using a deeper shade, but it's really not that deep. This is the one called Glowy True Rose. This was gorgeous. And the staying power. I was noting how as I was taking my makeup off in the late afternoon before we swam, looked so good. But I'm gonna give myself a little dot here and we'll just see where she goes. Dab, dab, dab. Really berry. And this is just a smaller brush handle, Sephora 56. Same size brush head. Okay. One dot, I mean, that gave me a beautiful kind of rosy berry cheek. But if you do also want to try a richer shade from the line and you don't want to go quite as dark as I did, Glowy True Rose is very pretty. But I've just been loving this line. The Dewy Pink is good. The one just called Dewy Worth It looks in the tube like, what's that going to be? It's very pretty. I haven't tried the Gold Pink or the Coral yet. I keep dabbing over that, but I think it's blended. Does this side have more? I think she needs just a tiny bit more just to keep it symmetrical. Okay, that's pretty. I'm digging it. And then I also have a new L'Oreal highlighter. Oh, I remember a pretty thing I did as like a blush topper. This from M Cosmetics. I've been putting this on top of everything. It's the Heaven's Glow blush in Venetian Rose. So it looks like this pretty baked powder. It looks pinky at a glance, but you see maybe a hint of very, very soft golden sheen in it. This was amazing paired on top of the ABH blush stick in Latte. This is a very earthy blush. This was recommended to me by one of you guys, and I've been getting back into it, but it's very muted, very earthy, and the pairing of those two was awesome. This was really pretty yesterday on top of the Glowy True Rose. Now let's see if we like it on top of today's blush. It adds a little something color-wise, but it also sort of blurs and just makes the cheeks look really pretty. Like, see that kind of gentle sheen? Maybe it's adding a little more color than I realized because that cheek looks really colorful. I'm so into it though. M Cosmetics has just some great things. It creates a yummy cheek, officially yummy. And then this is the new highlight. I know these have been out for a little bit, but the High Radiant Finish highlighter from L'Oreal Infallible. This shade is called Icy Gold, which seems like kind of a contradiction in terms. At a glance, it looks like white, and then you swatch it and you do get a soft, just like the lightest gold you could possibly have. So I think that's what they mean by Icy Gold. So we're gonna pop a little bit of this on with Real Techniques setting brush. Oh, someone's giving out $343 million and they want to give some to me. Oh, cool. There's a very small handful of people that are going to be texting me in the 5 a.m. hour, but apparently we can put scammers on that list too. I do like this. I like the way it looks on my skin. It is giving that softest ever golden glow, but I feel like you could pull in really close and not see a bunch of flakes and stuff. A little up here. What's up, Labor Day? Yeah. And when I got this L'Oreal PR package, it was a few random things, but they were noting how like the different Olympians were wearing this or that. This red lip color was one of them, and then there's this setting spray, that highlighter. But this is the 3-second setting mist. I think I used this in a recent video. Up to 36 hours, they say. It does feel like hairspray, and the funny thing, actually, I should do this after I do my brows because every time I use this, I do it at this stage of the game and then I go to like start doing my brows and I feel like I have to brush through hairspray because that's what that feels like. So I'm gonna do my brows first and then I will bring in that stuff. Maybe I should do it at the tail end, but I feel like I'll forget. Okay, I'm gonna grab out my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. Shade is 4 and we'll use that in the old brows today. Oh, I think I hear an owl. Love that. We have an outdoor cat that has shown up. It came around last week, and now I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking we need to take her to the vet. We maybe need to see if she is indeed microchipped. Like, we posted about her on Facebook to see if she was anyone's cat, and we haven't gotten any response about it, but she's so friendly. And like, we've had cats like kind of darting through our backyard at times. You know, you get a random stray cat comes around and they don't want anything to do with us. Like, you know, you pop out the door and they're like, boom, off like a shot. Like, they don't want to be around people. And this cat just seemed ultra comfortable around us. And so we thought maybe she's got people somewhere. So we both posted about her, but I'm wondering if maybe we need to check and actually see if she has a microchip, like at the vet, or see if she's been spayed. Hello, Biddy. Oh yeah, I'm talking about Pumpkin Spice. She's been named Pumpkin Spice. She's like a calico cat with some pumpkin-y markings. I love your hair today. You have a ton of volume. Show your volume in your hair. Now back to the eyebrow. She doesn't have school today, so naturally she's just up and about. Are you gonna eat one of the Cheerio bars I made? No. They're sweet. There's like nothing not to like. You need to also go back to bed. 24-hour brow lamination. This was one other thing that came with the random L'Oreal grouping, so I'll put that in. This is just clear gel, but it does feel like it has a very strong hold. So we're giving them a little lift and feeling like that lift will last. And then 3-second setting mist. Here we go. Smells just like hairspray. Did it change the look on the surface of my skin? Because I don't feel like it added a whole bunch of moisture or anything. I feel like this isn't about leaving you dewy. It's just about locking things in. When I touch my brows, I'm like, wow. Put it on your flyaways too. Now for the eye look, I'm gonna use some Milani eyeshadow primer, and we're gonna bust into that Patrick Ta palette for a lovely bronzy look. What's going on here? This tube looks full, although I've got some kind of air jam. Nothing's moving. It is backed up. Have you not been taking your fiber? Oh, whoa! Just got a bunch. Didn't like that fiber remark, I guess. I only need a tiny bit of this. I'm gonna have to wipe that away. Just a little bit will do ya on Milani eyeshadow primer all over the lid, the crease. If you're not familiar, here's our Major Dimension 1 palette. This is the first one that came out, although I got the rose one before I got this. But it has this window with a couple of creams, and then your top row is shimmer with, you know, you got a couple shades that aren't quite as loud as the other three, and then all mattes on the bottom. And it's a really nice soft gradient in all of these palettes, which makes the blending, I think, very, very easy. Also, the quality of the shades makes it easy to blend. So I'm going to begin with this second matte from the right. And I think they are all named. Yes, you just have to turn it around to the back to know the names. But I'm just going to get that going in my crease. This tone is kind of buildable, so like when you add a little more, I feel like you get a bit more depth, but it's just a really great started out shade. And then, I mean, you can always do this with your brush, kind of clean it off in a sense, and then it's more bare, and then you can really blend that edge. I do that so often. Then I'm gonna go a step deeper. I'm gonna go to this shade right here. A little more toasty, a little more depth, and we'll hit the crease with that too. Can't tell if I'm not in focus or if my contact's acting funky there too. Get that all blended in the crease and let it work up above a little. So good. Next, I think I will take a little bit of this brown cream right down here. Now these could be used, these are kind of multi-purpose creams. I think you could kind of line with them if you wanted to, although I wouldn't expect the greatest staying power out of that. But I kind of like them as a little base for any deep shadow that you do. And they're very easily blendable. So I've just dabbed a little bit of my darker of the two creams, and then I think I'll go with this dark brown powder shadow and a flat brush. And you just notice the intensity really take off. I mean, that's a nicely pigmented powder shadow as is, but just dabbing it right out here, oh, it's so good. Oh, I meant to tell you guys, there's new scents in at Walmart in the Bodycology range. New, like, kind of fall, winter time scents, I guess. I just got one thing when I was there. I was tempted to get more, but I got the S'mores body spray. They also had something, it was called like Winter Vanilla or something like that. It had blue packaging, and then they had a really good smelling berry. And with all their stuff, it's like body scrub, body wash, lotion, and body mist. But anyway, I'm taking this shade and I'm hitting it in the crease like that. Just 100% working with all mattes at this point. I'm gonna go to the next shade in, and this one has a little bit, you can probably tell, a little bit of red in it, kind of burgundy brown. And I'm gonna use that in my crease. This is where that beautiful gradient just makes your life so easy, because this shade is still deep, but it's gonna allow that dark, even cooler brown to kind of merge out. So I'm doing the crease and I'm kind of circular motioning that up. And I may go out a little ways with it today, make it a little bit more shaped. If you do this, you just want to think about going out in the direction of the tip of your brow, and I picture that line, and I think if I go down below that line, it's going to look a little droopy. So I'm keeping it up. Do you see how this is looking so far? These shades blend so nicely one into the next, and I'm just going to take a bare brush at this point and just go over that and make sure it's as soft as it can be. But wow, the fall drama. There's also a lighter shade in here. You could go with this or maybe even this shade. It's in the shimmer row, but it's like a softer shimmer texture. Just get a dab of that on and let that also help soften out. Really nice. Then going inward, I'm going to take that same shade right there from the top row, and I'm going to use a little bit of that on the center of my lid. Okay, so it's, you know, not really shiny at all, but it looks really pretty overlapping the deeper shade. And you could take that, picture that going just all the way in for a soft, you know, no loud shine kind of look. It's just a little toasty. It's like a burnt peach kind of shade. I love it. So we're overlapping there, but I am gonna splash in a little shimmer just coming from the inside. I think I'll take this neighboring color right here that looks kind of peachy and let that be just this little splash of shimmer on the inner, probably fourth of the eyelid. I'm letting it come down around the tear duct and just kind of, boom, disperse. And something I've always noted about the shimmers in the Patrick Ta palettes is they really do kind of adhere to your lids and stay where you put them. Like if you had a special occasion where you're like, I want something glitzy, I want it to be rooted in neutrals, but I want some level of glitz involved, I would trust a Patrick Ta palette. Really enjoying this look. I think I am going to take some liquid liner. I'm going to use brown. This is the Milani Tank Stay Put liquid liner in the brown shade. I think this is going to be really pretty because we have some very deep darkness involved. And I think this is going to do the defining, but at the same time, once it gets out here, I think it's going to like mesh in with things. Maybe we give it a little wing. Yeah, it's totally like really working in with the look once it gets to the outside. I like it. Okay, we got wings. Here's where you can adjust your shadow a little bit if you like did your wing, but you're thinking, okay, I want the shadow to actually come down to that a little bit more. You know, you can go there with it. I'm thinking I do want a little smokiness on the lower lash line. I'll pull in Cold Brew because it's going to give me that bronzy warmth on the lower lash line. And the moment I say shadow sticks, that reminds me, I've got some new Laura Mercier stuff. Let me know your interest level in this. They've redone their Caviar range. Allegedly, according to the info, it sounds as though there's been a reformulation on shadow sticks to make them smoother and more long wear. And then they sent lipsticks, lip liners, a mascara in the Caviar range. Like I said, every shimmery shadow stick was sent my way. I want to put some of that stuff into action for you guys, do a little try on with as much as I can. So there's Cold Brew now giving us a smoky lash line. I went all the way up under the wing with it. And it's kind of mid-tone, but deep enough to be sort of defining. And then I'm going to do mascara, and I'm going to use my most lengthening. I give this the award for most lengthening for sure. It's from L'Oreal. It's called the Voluminous Superstar Red Carpet Black. Using this and using that priming step, I swear It's different from just the regular voluminous primer you'd get in the tube. This holds curl better, and the length is just phenomenal. So you're gonna take your primer step. I let it get completely dry before I go in with my top coat, which is black, of course. But I like how it's like a skinny hourglass brush. It's really easy to manage. I mean, if I want long lashes, this is really the best. Every time I use this, I think there needs to be a mascara roundup video where like I give an award for best length, best volume, best staying power, whatever. This is best length, and it's not even really close. So, I mean, I don't even feel like I really have to load up with this. Just feel like you've gotten it on all your lashes and you'll be good to go. And it dries pretty quick. And then your other side looks like this. It's kind of a bigger brush. It's got a little more product coming out on it, a little bit curved. This is going to give you your black, long lash look. See how that's going so far? Nice length. I don't know, I'm gonna need to do a little cleanup over there under the wing. I feel like the length will pop even more if I don't have like winged liner and dramatic eyeshadow, but it's really feeling long. I did make a few mistakes. And I am gonna add probably one more coat of the black, but while we're at this place, I'm gonna do Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water on the lower lashes. Like, look at that eye. I am so happy with that eye look. I'm gonna use my CoverGirl Outlast lip stain in the shade Natural Blush. I feel like this has become really popular, and I'm not gaga for these because I feel like for a stain, they should last a lot longer, but I'm gonna fill in my lips with this basically. It's a little marker. But I'm seeing a lot of people use this kind of like lip liner and then top it with a gloss. I did really like the shade I used called Jazzberry the other day. This one. It seemed more colorful, but this is meant to be a little muted. Like, I go all over the lips and I feel like, not incredibly even, but I'm trying. Also, sometimes these look like they bleed a little bit. You know, just like the fine lines around your lips, they kind of take off in those zones, so watch out for that. I'm not sold on these. It's not my favorite thing, but I got sent this lip gloss, just some random buxom lip glosses. I believe this shade is called Sugar, but the sticker came off. But through process of elimination, the other ones I have, I think this is Sugar. And it's really like metallic, but it looks so pretty on top. Like just a pretty shine. I do feel like if you put a gloss on top, even if your application with the little marker thing was kind of streaky, it sort of evens everything out. But I'm loving this look, you guys. I really was impressed with the new Color Stay Concealer. I'm going to try to keep a closer eye on how it actually looks and wears throughout the day. Like, will it stay looking nice and fresh? I feel like the star of the show is really Patrick Ta Major Dimension there on the eyes. I love the way those shades just merge and blend. Really good quality. Little splash of shimmer, but largely a matte look. I like that a lot. These are just so much fun. I very much enjoy these Lumi blushes. I feel like each and every one that I've used, I've enjoyed. I like the little berry nature of this look. And also, don't forget about that Venetian Rose from M Cosmetics over top, because that gives just a really hard to describe level of glow to your cheeks and just adds a little color too. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you like this look. Let me know your video requests in the comments section, and I will see you all again very soon. I love you. Bye.